Titanfall 2 is the sequel to Titanfall, the Xbox and Windows only shooter developed by Respawn Entertainment. Originally released back in 2014 as a multiplayer only experience. The sequel, released in 2016 for Xbox One, PS4 and PC, came out in between EA's Battlefield 1 and Activision's Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. So, for most people, the game went under their radar, which is a damn shame as it's a very unique game. This time around, there is a single player mode, set in the future where there's an intergalactic war between the IMC and the militia, where soldiers and pilots do battle in their very cool mech suits called Titans. You play as Jack Cooper, the rifleman and member of the militia, but quickly promoted to pilot when your mentor dies in an ambush. With this upgrade, you are now in charge of a Titan called BT. Your mission is to rendezvous with Major Anderson. Beyond that, do whatever it takes to defeat the IMC forces. As for originality, the game doesn't do anything you haven't seen in an FPS game before, but it does everything right. One of the major highlights to Titanfall 2 is when you get access to the Time Gauntlet, a time travelling device that can take you back to the same location but now in the past. In the past, you fight guards in the research facility, but in the present, you fight lizard-like monsters in the now ruined research facility. Obstacles are often put in your place that needs to be solved in the past or the present to move forward in the game. It feels very much like Valve's Portal here, and that's a good thing. As for the other weapons, they are very familiar to most FPS games. But the mechs do change the Titanfall gameplay up. Adding the ability to upgrade your mech's weapons gives the single player campaign longer staying power and keeps it fresh. As for how long the campaign is, you can complete it in over 5 to 6 hours in the normal difficulty, which is normal for an FPS game. There is a noticeable difficult part near the end of the game with a boss battle with someone called Viper. I found it very frustrating, but on the plus side, you can lower or increase the difficulty of the game from the menu and continue the fight on the new difficulty level. I feel the need to briefly mention the multiplayer component of the game, with 8 multiplayer modes and a good selection of maps. This can be quite fun and can add extra life to Titanfall 2, but unlike the first Titanfall, the multiplayer takes a back seat to the single player campaign. Just bear in mind it's been a few years since the game came out and not many people will be still playing it online. Today Titanfall can be picked up for relatively cheap these days. I strongly recommend you to find yourself a copy of this game. An excellent modern first person shooter with a great campaign is very hard to find. Just remember it's the single player mode that is the main attraction here. You just never know when EA will turn off the servers for the multiplayer part of this game. An issue for many modern video games in general, but the good news is they can't easily turn off the single player experience. Thankfully, Respawn Entertainment has left us with an underrated modern FPS classic.